Hey everyone, it's Kabir here. So today we are going to perform some task. So as we have learned some concepts in previous sessions, so what I thought, let's perform some task on based on knowledge what we have got from the previous sessions. So today we are going to create the UI something like this. Let me show that what we are going to create today. So okay, I hope it is visible. Yeah. So we are going to see something like this, right? So here we are going to see some heading where it would be the changing the color and changing the font size. So let's decide what we have to do. But something this kind of UI we are going to create. We are going to create our own logo using the CSS. How we have to create, we will be seeing, and we will be seeing these components. Anyhow, in the last session we saw this particular component, like how to create a functional component, how to create a class component. So we will not be writing this code once again, just I'm going to paste this component in my project, and I already did it, so no need to do any changes. Apart from that, we will be seeing in this particular session how to create multiple components. So we will be very familiar with the creation of a components. So let us perform this particular task. So let's go to our favorite VS Code. Yep, we came to VS Code. Now our project is nothing but this one, task 1. So it's our first task. So it's like task 1. So let's run this particular project and let's see what we are able to see in the output. So come bro, yeah, it's come. So npm start. So let's see what it shows. So it is showing something like this because already we have created this thing in the last session. That's why I'm not creating. So let's go to our previous result. So now let us understand how to create this particular UI. I want some text which should have some design, some CSS. Then I want some logo. Then I have the components. So in this particular application, we are going to create for this particular text a separate component, for this particular logo a separate component, and already we have these two components, functional and class. So total we have the 4 components: text component, this animation component, this functional component, this class component, and the one component which is carrying all this component is nothing but your app component. So totally you have the 5 components in this particular application. So let us go and create first this particular logo. So let's come to our VS Code. Yes, I'm back to VS. Now here I want to create a component. So how can we create a component? Everybody knows that. So we already created a folder. So just go to this folder, just create a file, name as animation component .js. Cool. Now this is a JavaScript file. So the first statement should be import your React library. Import React from React. Now this particular React library is coming from the node modules. That's why we no need to give any path. Whenever we are not giving any path and just we are mentioning the name of that library, it means that this particular library is coming from your node module folder. That's the meaning. So now let's create a functional component. So I want to create an arrow function. So const, and it would be animation. Yeah, animation comp equals to something like arrow function, which is going to take 1 props. Cool. And this is the arrow function. Open the bracket and close it. Now it should return something. Okay. It is going to return the UI. So for that, I'm going to create a UI. We are going to create now something this kind of logo. So how we have to create? So for that purpose, what we have to do is that we have to take one div. Okay, I have to the div, and I'm going to give some class name to that, something like animation, something animation. Okay, cool. That's the class name, whatever you can give. This is the div, right? Now once I have created the component, I have to export it, right? So let's keep the export default, and your component name is nothing but animation comp. Okay, now I wanted to display this component in my app component. So let's go in the app.js and just we have to register. So before registering, we have to import it, right? So import animation comp from components, and that is your animation comp. That's cool, pretty cool, right? Now what I was thinking, as a time being, let's comment all this thing. Let's comment this, right? That would be better. Okay, no, I have to comment from here to table, right? I did pretty mistake. So I have to comment from table to table. Okay, let's do some comment. Okay, now here I wanted to display my particular animation comp, self-closing. Just save it. Just go to your browser. Let's see what it displays. It will display nothing because we have gave just a div, right? So let us make some CSS for that div. Let's make something. So what we will be doing, let's go to VS Code. Let's create a CSS file. So I will be telling like animation css.css, something like that, something name you can give. And to give some designing to that particular div, I have to give a class name for that div. So let us see what we have given. We already gave the animation. Just copy this animation class name. Just go to your CSS file dot animation. Cool. I want to give some border for that. So I will be giving like border, and I will be giving something like 30 pixel solid, and give some color, whatever color you wanted to give. So I will be giving something like 65, 44, something, right? db. So this is what the color I'm giving. So just save it and just go to your browser. Now it is not able to apply any styles on the div. The only reason that we didn't import this CSS file in your component. So how can we import? For that, you have to give the location of your file. Import, very pretty simple. Just give the location of your file. Star, right? It should be double dot slash, go to your CSS file and just give your, what was the name? Animation.component.css. Cool. That's pretty cool. Now just save it. Now once you go to your browser, you will be seeing something like this. I don't want to take complete width of your browser page, right? I want to take some fixed width. So I decided to take something like 150 pixel. So let's try. Just go here and just give the width. Width would be some 150 pixel. So just see how it would be looking. Yep, it has been reduced. I want to give some margin from the top, right? See, now it is like I wanted to use some gap from top. So margin top, and I want to give some gap from left. So margin left. So that two properties we have to add. So that's nothing but margin top. I'm going to give some 30 pixel. Then margin left. That would be also something kind of 30 pixel. And just save it and just see the design how it would be. Yeah, now this is pretty cool. Now let's give some height as well. So I want to give something height like, it would be the same 150 pixel. That would be very easy for us to look. Now I want to make this, it looks like something like see, just when I'm going to save it, it is looking something like this, right? Now I want to make this as a circle. So how can I make a circle? So for that we have to give the border radius something like 50%. Yeah, it would be better 50%. Cool. Save it and just go and see how it is going to look. Yep, it is now looking like a circle, right? So now what I wanted to do is like I want to design it in something good styling. So what I'm doing, I'm taking border top. Okay, I'm giving something like uh, 15 pixel solid and some color, right? You know, hash some 34 dB having in some kind of color, right? So just save it and just do and look how it looks. Yeah, it is looking something different. Now I want to give some color to bottom also. So one more property I'm going to take like border bottom, and I want to give some 10 pixel and pretty solid, and color would be something like 9987, and I have to give something like hash and TV some different color. Just save it and it is going to look something like this. Okay, now let's take some border right as well. Border right, I will be giving something 15 pixel and that would be solid, and let's make some color like, yeah, this rosy brown. Let's see what it going to display, how it is going to display. Yep, it is looking something pretty cool, right? So let's try to change. Okay, we have created this. Now I think everybody is familiar with the CSS, so we are going to take some keyframes and we are going to use some name like any, and what I'm going to do here is that I want to rotate it, so I'll be saying that 100%, right? Then here we have the key as transform, is something like transform, and transform rotate, and it should rotate some 360 degrees. Yeah, 360 degree. And I want to apply this for that particular animation. So for that we have a key animation, right? And we have to take any, I want it should be like 1.5 second linear, and it should be infinite, means it should be completely rotating, continuously rotating. That's cool. Now just go here. Yeah, it started rotating. This animation we have created, right? Now what I wanted to do is that we have created one, means we have done one task. Okay, we have finished this task. Okay, now we will be creating one more component for the text. So for that, let's go to VS Code and just close it. Just close it and just go to your component folder. Just create a file known as text component, right? Let's create something like a text component.js. Have created. Now I want to make this as a React component. So first we have to import React library, and just remember it should be capital R, React from, and it should be from React. That's cool. Now let's create a function like const text comp something equals to arrow function, and it is going to take something props, some props. We are not using any props here as of now, so this should return some UI. So let's construct a UI. So it's UI, we are going to take something like h2, and I will be like, hey everyone. I will be timing like, hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So this is what we are going to display. So as of now, so first we have created the component. Now I want to export is export default, and we have to give our component name as text component, text comp. Okay, now let's go to our app.js. Here I'm going to import. So I want to use means first of all I have to import, right? So import text comp from, just give the address of your component. That's pretty easy. It's a text component. That's done. And here it should be something like, I want to display text component here. Text comp, it's okay. That's a text comp. So I think it has been changed. Cool, not a big issue. Just self-closing. Just enter. Just go here. Just save it. So you are getting something like does not match to corresponding name of the disk. It's telling that it doesn't match to the corresponding name of the disk. So what would be the error? That error is nothing but your component name has been like confused. Like there might be some issue we are going to get. textcomp.js. So let us remove this. Just do once more import, right? Text comp, yeah, from, it should be one component, and it should get like text component.js. That's pretty cool. And just save it. Now it has been solved. So just go here. Now we are not able to see the text. The reason why we are not able to see is that I think we wrote the text comp, but it is not displaying. The reason it might be return to my channel app.js. So what I have to do is, right, your component name should get changed. It's a rename. Just make it capital T and just save it. That's it. Update import text comp import. That's pretty cool. Just go here, just save it, just go to your browser. It's still not working, right? It's still, oh, it's actually working. We are not able to see it because it's in text, because it's in a white text. I was confused. Anyways, so we are able to see this text. Now I wanted to apply some CSS to this particular text component. So let's create a CSS file for text component. So it would be something like text CSS, right? Text css.css, and here I wanted to give some class to that h2. So I will be like giving class name, and the class name would be something like, what would be taking like text animation something. So just copy this and just go to your text.css. And that's pretty cool. So here also we will be applying some keyframes, right? Keyframe. I hope you guys are familiar with the keyframe. If not, just let me know in inbox or else in comments. So we'll be seeing something. I will be explaining this CSS later on in some other session. So here I'm going to take a from. I want to change the color. I will be taking one object. I will be telling that color. What I want is, right, from R, I mean from this revicular purple, right? From this I want to change my color to something like color, we will be taking something like red. Let's try something red. Let's see how it is going to look. So for that, what I have to do, just I have to take the animation and I have to give this TF. I will be saying like 1.5. okay, 1.5 sec. Then it should be some is in and out, and it should be infinite, right? That's white, and it should be I. Yeah. That if that's also done, but I have to import this particular CSS file in my text component.js, right? So for that particular, I have to import and //css file / this should be text.css. Cool. Just save it. Just go here. Just save it. Just go to your browser. Now it's looking something like this. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Now what we wanted, yeah, it is pretty changing the color now, but this particular div I want in the middle. So for that I will be going to the CSS file of this animation. I will be taking on separate class like some I will be taking like center class, something like let's take, it's about div, right? So let's take div1. I'm going to use top 0 pixel. Then I want to tell like bottom also was 0 pixel. Then I want to say something like right 0 pixel, and I want to tell something like your left also has 0 pixel. So I'm saying everything at 0 pixel means it will be coming in the center, right? Then from here I want to say like margin will be there too. So that's cool. I hope so it should work. So before that I have to go to the CSS like component, animation component, and I have to like give this particular div1 as a class, so it can be applied on that particular div. So I'm just going to my browser and I'm just seeing. So it's not changing, right? Why it's not changing? Why it's not coming in the middle? That's because of some mismatch in your CSS file. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cut this one margin and I'm gonna keep in the top. Just save it. Just go to your browser, but still it is not coming. That is because margin is auto, pixel, bottom pixel, right, left, everything is good. So let's take position be absolute. Now save it. Just go here, but still you're not getting. Why so yaar? Why it's not getting in the middle? It should get in the middle. So what I wanted to do, I have took the position, margin, auto, div, but the problem is this is going to apply the div for whom? So this should be for the animation, right? And we have kept for the animation div1, it's div1 and it should be dot because it's a class. Save it. Yeah, it's coming now, right? Now I want to remove this position absolute. Just save it so that it will come here. So we have did this one. That's completely done by this task. And just go to your app.js now. And in app.js, what we are going to do is like we are going to uncomment this thing. Yes, we uncommented it. So let's uncomment all this part. Yeah, some error we are getting. Okay, save it. Just go to your browser. Now you are able to see this particular design. That's what I wanted to say. That's what we have created. So this is the task that I wanted to perform, just to make you guys familiar with the component, how to create the multiple components. Now we have created here like text components, and we have created this animation component, and we can do any design and we can do any animations that depends upon our requirement. Then we have created the functional component and the class component. In the last session I have told you how to create this particular components, and we have reused this functional component here. So without rewriting the logic once more, just we have reused. So this is what the benefit you get when you go for the component based architecture, and like you have only one page, right? So this is a simple task, just familiar with the components. I hope everybody is very good with this particular component. Now in next session we are going to understand about the state and props. What is state, what is props? Then after that we will be creating one project that is nothing but GitHub search project. So I will be showing that demo in next session, might be. So thanks for everyone.